What is going on? Today we are looking at YouTube channels. So when it comes to growing your YouTube channel, a lot of content creators, they are kind of in their own world. They don't have anybody to get feedback from. They don't have anybody that, has some experience that they can get feedback from. And they don't have, anybody outside of like some friends or some family members that might tell them that everything that they're doing is amazing. And because of that, it can kind of create roadblocks that can be difficult to overcome. So because of that, we are doing YouTube channel reviews for you so that we can, look at your channel. We can give you some feedback and try to help you improve the results that you're getting on YouTube. So this whole entire stream, just as a heads up, we are in the TubeSpanner channel right now. So if you are not subscribed here, make sure that you subscribe because we're doing channel reviews. We're going to be uploading more content and all that stuff in the future as well. But right now we are focusing on, I did not move the green screen, Doug, but right now we are focusing on YouTube channel reviews. And look, if you are, here and we're pulling up these YouTube channels, and let's say that your channel doesn't get picked because, we're basically randomizing these and just pulling them up. Let's say that your channel doesn't get picked. I still encourage you to just listen to the advice that is being given to the other channels that we pull up and just think to yourself, hey, is this something that applies to me and my YouTube channel? Do I have this thing that he's talking about set up, or my titles that way, or my thumbnails doing some of the things that he's talking about, so that you can make sure that you are, giving yourself the best option there to get full value out of the conversation today, even if your channel does not get pulled up. And if you are just joining us, this is 100% free. So this is all courtesy of TubeSpanner, since we're on the TubeSpanner channel here. And if you're not familiar with TubeSpanner, TubeSpanner is the all-in-one YouTube toolkit for YouTube content creators. I actually call it my YouTube assistant. And the reason for that is it has all these really cool features, like a link in bio tool, like this is mine, for example, so I can interlink all my social accounts. You can share content through the browser extension without having to leave YouTube. It has an upload assistant to help you upload your videos faster and being able to quickly inject like different elements into your video descriptions, per the description. AI screenwriting tools. You can test your thumbnails before you publish them. You can even make thumbnails with TubeSpanner, but it has a ton of different features that'll help you with your YouTube channel. So if you are not a TubeSpanner user yet, make sure that you check it out at tubespanner.com, just so you can see, what's available, because there's so many helpful tools in there that it's, we can't just go over every single one of them. But when it comes to, this whole tool, it's amazing. So go and check that out when you get the chance. And if you're already a TubeSpanner user, make sure you get your notepad open and get ready to take some notes, because we are going to be sharing some fun stuff today. So if you are just joining us again, how this works is I'm going to put a hashtag into the comment section. Once I put this hashtag in here, then what you have to do, or the only thing that you need to do, is put the hashtag in. And with that hashtag, the system that I'm using, which is StreamYard, their giveaway tool, it's going to randomly, oops, I used a Mac keyboard shortcut there. It's going to randomly select somebody, out of the chat that put in this hashtag. And again, this is all free, courtesy of TubeSpanner. And she wants me to talk about the TubeSpanner AI. So TubeSpanner also has an AI. So that AI it'll help you make better titles. The AI will write scripts for you on your behalf as well. Those two functions by itself are really helpful. A lot of people are actually using the script writing tool like massively, and they are not using the title generator as much. And the reason for that, I think, is because not as many people are using the upload assistant. So if you are wanting the title generator, make sure that you are, using the upload assistant, because that's where it's going to end up showing. Through the extension, you can see that in the actual upload process in the extension, or you can see it embedded into your video uploads page, or your video details page. So the very first thing that we have here, the very first hashtag is obviously going to be TubeSpanner. And again, if you're just joining us, how this works is you just simply put in the TubeSpanner hashtag there, and you just simply put in the TubeSpanner hashtag here. And when you put that in, then what's going to happen is this system that I'm using from StreamYard, Nope, there we go. The system that I'm using from StreamYard is going to just randomly select somebody's, somebody out of the chat here. So make sure you get those rolling. And just as a heads up, you only need to put this in one time. So you don't have to do it, a bunch of times or anything like that. So I'm just waiting for a few more just to make sure everybody has a chance here. And then we are going to go ahead and hit this. And really quick, while we're sitting here waiting for these to come in really quick, Primetime 210, nice to see you in the chat here today. Pixie Dust Traveler, what's going on? Hope that you're doing great. Elite Barbecue Smokers, hope you are doing awesome. Doug Man's Land, hope that you're doing fantastic today. Chrissa Travels Florida, hope that you're doing great. You mentioned, in the end of the other stream, talking about how you need to, learn how to, do your monetization, better for not totally being reliant on ads. So hopefully your channel gets pulled up today so I can give you some tips on that too, but we'll see how it goes. So the very first channel that we're looking at is called Developing Minds. So let me take this down really quick while I get this channel pulled up. And let's see here. Let's look for Developing Minds. So Developing Minds. Okay, there's a lot of channels with this name. So just as a heads up, when it comes to naming your YouTube channel, it makes everything better for like users to find you in terms of, viewers. It also makes it easier in situations like this, Developing Mind. Oh yeah, that is what I put. Oh, without the S. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, you're right there in the top spot. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like you're mostly doing YouTube Shorts, which is okay. Oh, you got some. You have some longer form videos as well. So okay, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and pull up your channel here. So right out of the gate, the very first thing that I do want to bring to your attention is you want to make sure that you do add channel art here as part of your display. So if you're doing a lot of this stuff on your mobile device or whatever, YouTube now has the functionality inside of your YouTube Creator Studio app. It's called YT Studio is the name of the app, and if you put that into your phone, if you don't have it already, it looks like here. Let me go full screen here so you can see what it looks like. It looks like the one right here in the top left corner. But it's called YT Studio. You want to get that in if you're a mobile content creator, because it allows you to, upload, a channel art and do, other things like that in the past were just reserved for people that were, accessing YouTube on a desktop computer. So definitely do that. And the reason that you want to do this is you don't want to just smack any picture up there. I mean, you can, but the thing that you want to make sure that you are doing is that you are just thinking about, okay, when somebody lands on my channel page, the very first thing they're going to see is that. Right? Because it's going to grab the most attention. So because of that, make sure that you just have a very clear and easy to understand value proposition so that when you have people landing on your channel page, they can just make that quick decision to understand exactly what it is that you're doing on your YouTube channel. Because the whole goal with this stuff is that you want to make sure that your YouTube channel is a resource for a certain type of content for a certain type of viewer. Next up, so since you have your YouTube Shorts here, I would definitely go in and I would start readjusting how you're doing your channel page layout by itself. There's a bigger thing that I want to bring to your attention, but just some quick housekeeping things. I would definitely make sure that you do update what your channel page layout, because right now, when somebody's on a computer and they land on your channel page, then it's taking them, directly, the first things they're going to see is your shorts right up there at the top. So because of that, take that off. I recommend, do whatever you like, but I recommend that you take it off. And the reason for that is because if somebody lands on your channel page, the first thing you want them to see is this new content that you've been uploading. And the reason that's important is because every single viewer that interacts with one of your YouTube videos, that is sending data to YouTube that lets the system understand how people are interacting with your content, and it also lets lets the system understand the people that are and the people that are not enjoying your content, so that it fine tunes who those videos are getting shown to. So because of that, you want to make sure that you are, make sure that you're driving people into that, newer content. The long form content. And then shorts viewers, they can click here and go see your shorts, or you can just move that particular tab down here to the very bottom. But the next thing I want to bring to your attention as well, right now on your YouTube channel, and again, this is totally up to you if you want to leave this, but I recommend that you take this off as well, because let's say that I land on your YouTube channel, I'm watching one of your videos, I come here to your channel page, I'm like, hey, what else do they have? I'm scrolling through, bam, I hit this and I'm like, oh, Roland's Reviews, I wonder what this is. And then I click over to Roland's Reviews and I'm gone. And you just missed the opportunity to connect with me because you sent me, to somewhere else. So right now, while you are just getting the ball rolling on your YouTube channel, I would definitely, take this particular playlist of your subscriptions off of your channel page, that section, I should say, off of your channel page. And then go through all the video content that you have. And I believe when I looked at your channel page, you had a decent amount of videos here. Yeah. So go through and start categorizing your content. And in terms of like, hey, these are the videos about these things. These are the videos about these things. These are the videos about these things. And then when you do that, you can add those as sections to your channel page to make it easier for people to find more of what it is that they enjoy from you. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. So that was just a housekeeping thing on the channel page. So everybody just make sure you have your channel page set up. In fact, the new segment that I just did, one of the updates that's coming this year to our YouTube channel pages is they're adding like a For You page or a For You section here so that it's going to be customized what people are going to see in that particular section. And then they're also kind of adding some other modifications from like mobile viewers and things like that. So please do not sleep on your channel page. Setting that up properly can help increase the amount of views that you're getting on your YouTube channel as a whole, because it makes it easier for people to find your content, the content that they want to see. Next, so when it comes to these, you have society has brainwashed us, vlog, God, For You page, motivation. So right now, just as a heads up, YouTube doesn't have a For You page. So if you're, transferring this over from TikTok or something, you don't have to worry about that, right now for your hashtag. Also, you don't need to put hashtags in your actual titles either. Instead, make it one easy to read sentence, right? Or statement or something like that. But the idea when it comes to your titles, you want to make them compelling and you want to make them about whatever it is that you are talking about in the video. So in this particular case, you have society has brainwashed us, right? Okay, so that's fine. This is how society brainwashed us is, maybe a little bit of a level up if you're talking about that sort of thing in your video. But I would definitely get off like the vlogs, and all this other stuff that you're doing in your titles, because it's just polluting what it is that's happening there, right? Because the whole idea with your thumbnail and title is your thumbnail is there to grab somebody's attention and help them identify that your content's about something that they care about, right? So if you imagine how you use YouTube, and this is for everybody here, if you imagine how you use YouTube, if you are on your phone, right, which is where most of the traffic is on YouTube, or the most of the views come from on YouTube, you're on your phone, you're sitting here and you're just kind of, scrolling through and you're just kind of like, okay, what's going on? The first things that you see are the thumbnails, and then it defaults over into that autoplay, right? So you want to make sure that as somebody's sitting here scrolling through, you can see nothing's auto playing right now, right? I'm just scrolling through looking for something to watch. So if I'm sitting here scrolling through something to watch, there's no autoplay. You want to make sure that your thumbnail, I was actually on somebody's thing there. Let me go back to the homepage. But you want to make sure that your thumbnail is clear, right? Like this one right here at the very top for this channel review stream that you're watching right now. You want to make sure that it's something that grabs people's attention. So in this case, what I do here, and it went away again, but like in the thumbnail of this particular stream that you're watching, I put YouTube right up there at the big, and then put your right up, big on the thumbnail, and then I put the channel reviews underneath that, and then I put my face. So the logic behind that is my face is there so that if somebody is around YouTube and they're familiar with me, then in that particular case, that's going to pull them in. If they are somebody that's interested in YouTube in any capacity and they see that YouTube logo, that's going to stop them in their tracks, because it's going to tell them that this video has something to do with YouTube. So because of that, they're at least going to read the title. They're at least going to explore for a second to try to figure out what's going on with that particular piece of content, right? So the whole idea when it comes to your titles and thumbnails is, one, make it easy, and two, make it identifiable, right? So here, having society's brainwashed us, like that's okay, right? Because it's your, opinions on what's going on, and that's what you're sharing in the video. So that's okay. But this is how is a little bit more technical if you were doing something like that, if you're explaining that in the video, it's a little bit more technical and there's a little bit more information there versus somebody just ranting, right? So it kind of creates a different expectation, which brings me to the next thing. So if you look at your title and thumbnail combinations here, right? So say no to going backwards. And then you have here, push through, encouragement. So one concept that I want you to start thinking about with your videos is start thinking about your videos as a package, right? So let's say, here, I got some stuff from Amazon. Give me one second. So let's say, let me make sure there's nothing identifiable on here. I think I'm okay. Okay. So in this particular case, right, this thing right here, it's like a windscreen for a microphone, right? So when they make this, they put it in a box, and then they put, these types of, identifiable things on here, these types of imagery and things like that to show people what's in the box, right? It shows people what's on the box. If this is sitting on a store shelf somewhere, and you are somebody that's looking for, microphone related things, then, this might, end up grabbing your attention. So when it comes to your thumbnails and titles, the idea is exactly the same. It's your packaging, and then your video is the actual product that's inside of that packaging. Okay. So what you want to make sure that you're thinking about is that you want to think about, okay, when you are putting your, thumbnail and title together, the very first step of that is coming up with it before you make your video in the first place, okay? So when you are coming up with these video ideas, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna make a video about how society has brainwashed us. I'm gonna make another one about saying no to going backwards, right? Then in that particular case, you wanna think about, before you even make the video, okay, if I'm going to make a video about how we've been brainwashed, how could I illustrate that in a thumbnail? What exactly would I say in a title that would make it compelling? And how would that thumbnail and the title work together as a team to help me win the click of the viewer? So how would it help them identify it's something that they care about? And then two, how would my title be compelling enough to actually pull them into the content? You want to make sure you're thinking about that before you even make your video in the first place. You want to do this at the ideation stage when you're like, hey, this is what I want to make a video about. Next step, how am I going to package that video up so that it's going to be clear for people that are interacting with the platform that this has something to do with something that they care about, right? And then what's compelling enough about this that it's going to cause somebody to say, instead of saying, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, I'll watch something else. What is it that's going to make somebody go, oh, I want to see this, or oh, I need to see this, right? And you want to start thinking of it that way, because everything that people see from the outside, that's the only information they have about what it is that's going to be inside of the video itself. So you have to make sure that you're making it clear. Next, when you are putting your titles together, you also need to add clarity. Say no to going backwards is not clear in any way, shape, or form, right? So when you say no to going backwards, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about driving backwards. I don't know if you're talking about going back in history and doing things that people used to do in history that are coming, back to the surface. I don't know, if you're talking about going back to a place that you moved away from. I don't know if you're talking about going into old relationships, or I don't know what you're doing. But when it comes to say no to going backwards to what, right? So when you're putting titles together, you can add explicit clarity so that people can just make the call, hey, is this something I want to watch? Or you can be a little bit vague, but you still need to have some type of clarity. The little bit vague typically works better if you have really high performing videos and they're getting shown to lots of people. Then that vagueness can create, a little bit of curiosity in some cases, depending on the topic. And then that can also, cause people to come in. So for example, if I was like, this new hack helps new YouTubers grow, right? If that was my title, because that's the type of content that I make, then in that particular case, it's like, oh, what is that hack? What's the thing that, that he's going to be talking about in this video? That's the idea. So you just want to make sure that you're adding, some type of clarity to what it is that you're doing, so people know, hey, is this something that I, am interested in or not? Next. All your thumbnails have this shot of you, or they have these bars over on the side. Make sure that you're just fully filling out your thumbnail. So when it comes to your YouTube thumbnails, you might not see the option because you don't have your channel art in here yet. I'm not sure if that's still a factor for getting your YouTube channel verified. But in order to have custom thumbnails, your channel has to, you have to go through that phone verification. So if you haven't done that yet, make sure that you do it. And that's going to give you the option to create better looking thumbnails that actually fill the whole screen. So TubeSpanner has a thumbnail making tool that you can use to fix this problem. You can also use something like Canva or Photoshop. There's also apps that you can use for your phone to make thumbnails. But the idea is when you're putting your thumbnails together, you don't necessarily just want to focus on your face. Instead, think about, okay, if this whole thing is about pushing through, how could I illustrate that through an image, right? And just as a heads up as well, you also want to just work on the quality of the photo. You want to make sure that you're just working on the quality of that whole packaging, because from the outside, and this is going to sound, horrible, but it's reality. So I got to say it. So when it comes to what people see from the outside, it makes a huge impact on if they're going to click on it or not, because what it is they see from the outside also paints a little bit of a picture about quality of that particular piece of content. So if it looks low quality from the outside, then people are going to expect it to be low quality, and therefore some people won't click on it because of that, because it's like, oh, this is probably just somebody trying to like figure this out or like whatever. Some people will still go in, but I'm just saying, that whole it's like your first impression. Your thumbnail is your first impression. So you want to make sure that it's, that it looks good. It doesn't have to be, technically, crisp, and, it doesn't have to pop with colors and, all of that. Those things are helpful. But at the very least, you just want it to look good, right? Just want it to look good. Even if it's a photo like this, fill out the frame, right? Like the one with the kid, it's a little bit better because at least the frame is filled out for your thumbnail. So I would work on those things first, because in your case specifically, those are going to be the things that are going to be make the biggest difference for you and what it is that you're doing with your content. Of course, when it comes to the video content itself, that's also extremely important. But for right now, you definitely need to work on that that problem that you currently have, which is I need to learn how to write better titles and need to learn how to make better thumbnails. So, yeah, and Jerry made a really good point. He says, I think it's clear this creator's used to posting to other platforms. So I totally agree with that. So, one thing also to keep in mind is when it comes to posting to other platforms like that, what works on TikTok doesn't necessarily work on YouTube. What works on YouTube doesn't necessarily work on TikTok, and so on and so forth, in terms of just like setting everything up with the video, right? So just make sure that you're doing all of that properly on YouTube. So the next, we're going to do another giveaway right here for the channel reviews. I don't know why I say giveaway. I mean, we're just looking at channels. It's not a giveaway, really. So let's see here. So next hashtag that we are going to do is, let's see here. Okay. So this one is AI is Kim. So the TubeSpanner AI is named Kim. So this one is AI is Kim, just as a way to kind of introduce you to the TubeSpanner AI. So while I'm waiting for these to come in, and just as a heads up, if you are just joining us, all you got to do here is put in that hashtag into the chat, and then this system that I'm using here, the StreamYard giveaway tool, this is going to collect them, and then I'm going to hit the draw option, and then if your channel gets selected, then I'm going to pull it up, and we're going to go through that same thing that I just did on your channel as well. So really quick, while we're waiting for more of those to come in, so Smith Switchmania 2 says, is it essential to create social media pages for your channel? It's not essential, but one thing that I do recommend when it comes to creating any type of like brand on the internet is if you know that you're going to go with that name for, the indefinite future, then in that particular case, it's a good practice to go ahead and get all of the social media accounts around it. You don't have to use them right now, but just go ahead and secure those accounts. So in the event that, everything starts going great on your YouTube channel, somebody else can't get those. And if you're like, hey, now my YouTube channel is thriving, so now I'm going to go and start trying to grow some of these other platforms, then you've already got the names over there, and it's easy for your fans to find you and things like that. So so it's not essential, but it is just good practice to just secure the name across all the social media platforms, and if you can, also get the web address for it as well, the .com. You can get .anything, but the .com is definitely, the one that it's just easier for people to remember. So not .io, not .ai, not .biz. Like I have my link in bio tool that I use here. TubeSpanner's link in bio tool. This is mine right here, my page. And for this, I have a redirect, even though TubeSpanner gives you your own, custom URL up there. I have a redirect from Niman.bio. When people type that in, then it just sends them directly to here. But, this is actually really cool. You can see how it has the YouTube subscribe button on here to encourage people to subscribe. You can play the video, directly, in here on the screen. And then you can set these up to look any way that you want in terms of like colors, the text that you put on them and all that. Really, really cool for interlinking your social accounts. But again, you can get all that at tubespanner.com. So here we go. And there should be links as well down in the description as well to TubeSpanner. Okay, so we've got Terrapia. I believe is how you say that. So I'm going to take this down real quick while I find them. And they are going to be next up on our list here. Man, I did the Mac shortcut again. I got to stop doing that. Okay, right up here at the very top. Boom, coming in. So this is a gaming channel. So there's somebody in here before that was looking for gaming related content. So this is awesome. We get to showcase a gaming channel here. How many gamers do we have? If you're a gamer, just say me. And really quick, Jim says, how do you enter? So for these, I put a hashtag up on the screen, and then all you have to do is put in your hashtag. You just put it directly into the chat. You just put that hashtag in there. And then the system that I use for this, it's StreamYard's giveaway tool. It randomly selects one of the hashtags there. So let's see. Okay, so we got some gamers in here. Pretty cool. Okay, so very first, Terrapia Entertainmento. So, okay, is this another language? Hold on. Retro gaming. Oh, this is another language. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to help you out here because I can't see the titles. But one thing that I can tell you is, yeah, I got some stuff for you. So you're already using, just a quick, housekeeping thing. You're already, dividing your content up into sections to make it easy for people to find more of the content they love. So you're doing the right thing there. High five and fist bump to you. If there was a point system, you would have just gotten a point. When it comes to your channel art, instead of just having this, because your channel name is right here and it's right here, I would just put exactly what it is that you offer in your channel. Gaming channels can offer a bunch of different stuff. So are you doing like Let's Plays? Are you doing like, console reviews? Are you doing game reviews? Are you doing walkthroughs? Are you doing like map walkthroughs? Are you doing like loadouts? Are you like what is it that you're doing? And just make it clear up here so people know exactly what it is that they're going to get from you. But as we scroll down the page here, I want to talk about something a little bit more important. So again, I can't see the titles, but I can see your thumbnails. So when it comes to your thumbnails, I think this one for Gran Turismo, I think this is okay because, you do see the cars in the background. So hopefully that plus the Gran Turismo logo will, grab their attention. But when it comes to the titles of some of your videos, I don't see them here. You might have fixed this already. Let me go back to your homepage and I'll show you what I was getting ready to say. When I come down here, where is it? Okay. In this particular section, in these live streams that you're doing, so you have, and let me make this bigger so everybody can see it in case you're watching on a mobile device. So right here, you see how you have your channel name here, and then you have the episode number. So this is in terms of best practices. This is something that YouTube recommends that you do not do. So when it comes to the structure of your titles, what you want to do is you want to have the main content of your title, right? And then after that, if you choose to add Tube, Terrapia, and then like an episode number, then you would put that at the end of your title. And the reason for that is because this is taking up screen real estate, and it also gets in the way of what it is that a new viewer would actually care about here. So, people that are already involved in your YouTube channel, for them, Tube, Terrapia, I'm not sure how to say it, but like your channel name, they'll be able to recognize it, right? For the, 44 people that you have so far. But for new people, which is what you always want to make sure that you're thinking about when it comes to YouTube, if you're trying to grow your channel. So what you want to make sure you're thinking about is like, okay, if somebody new that is not familiar with me, that has never interacted with my content in any way, shape, or form, if they were to see this show up on their homepage, how can I get the information for them that they need as fast as humanly possible? And how can I encourage them to click on this versus deterring them from clicking on this? So for example, right here on the deterrent side, you have, your channel name, right up there up front. So you're focusing it on you instead of focusing it on them, right? That's the idea there. So you want to reverse that and move that stuff, to the end. And I would go in and make these changes like immediately. In addition to that, you have these episode numbers on here and you have these episode numbers on here. So those types of things, and like, podcasts, things like that. And this might be, I'm not sure, but, when it comes to like podcasts, things like that, episode numbers are great. But when it comes to, YouTube, I wouldn't put that kind of stuff on your thumbnails, and I wouldn't add it to the titles either. The reason for that is this suggests that there's 29 more things that I need to watch before this is going to make sense to me, right? So Because of that, I would not put that here on your thumbnails. Instead, just focus your thumbnails on, helping people identify that, this is about retro games in some way. And then, make sure that you're using the right words in here. Like, for example, instead of this face, unless this face is in some retro game, then just focusing on this right here and making this bigger probably would have been the better call there, versus, having like your, numbers on here and things like that. So the whole idea when it comes to your thumbnails is you want to try to make them as simple and easy to understand as possible, because as people are scrolling around YouTube, they're just looking for stuff to watch, right? So like, for example, if I open up YouTube's homepage right here, right? And let's take this to 0 here real quick. If I open up YouTube's homepage and I'm just sitting here scrolling, right? And I'm like, okay, please help. That grabs my attention. The most complex pop song ever grabbed my attention. This grabbed my attention here with the theirs and ours, because just like the colors and the arrows and stuff, you can see how that like really stands out. We've got, Linus Tech Tips here because of the red background here. That stood out to me. This panel right here, the blue panel, that stands out. But you can see, like, as you're just scrolling, like if you're logged into YouTube and you're like, hey, what can I watch? And you're sitting here and you're just kind of looking for stuff to watch, then, you can see the stuff that stands out, and you're not sitting there, just analyzing everything and trying to figure it out. Instead, you're glancing around the homepage and you're just like, okay, what's this? What's this? And you're looking for things that stand out that grab your attention, right? So like things that are really helpful is like you can see here, right? In this particular one, they're like playing the bass with the bow. It actually sounds heavenly. But with this, they've got the actual bass here, right? So people that are interested in music in any capacity, or people that are interested in playing the bass right here, they're making that connection by just showing the guitar there, without having to add any more context, right? Because it grabs their attention. And then from there, somebody can look at the title to see exactly what it is that's going on. But the idea is you want to make sure that you're leveraging your thumbnails to grab attention. That's what they're there for. So I would work on that. I would also work on just kind of simplifying things a little bit too, because you can see how like on this one, let me just zoom in again for everybody that's on a mobile device. So like here, where's the one that I was just going to talk about? Yeah, I think I lost it when I zoomed in there. Hold on. Yeah, like this one right here, right? So in this case, on all of these right here, like there's no real focus. It's like, where do you look? Do you look at the, do you look at the text? Do you look at the card? Do you look at the planet going on in the background? Do you look at the number up here? Like there's no real focus. So the next thing you want to make sure that you're thinking about when it comes to your thumbnails is you want to make sure that you're thinking about, and this is for everybody here, you want to make sure that you're thinking about if somebody is going to see my thumbnail, and they will, because YouTube is going to give you an impression. And for those of you that are new, an impression is when YouTube shows your content to somebody somewhere on the platform for more than a second, okay? So YouTube is going to give your videos impressions when you publish your videos. They're going to show them to people. So what you have to make sure that you're thinking about is how can I express this idea in as simplistic of a way as humanly possible? And what's the number one thing that I want people to focus on in this thumbnail to actually pull their attention into it? And then from there, say, okay, how can I design this in a way that's going to push all of the attention to that particular thing that I'm trying to bring the attention to? And that's the way that you want to, start putting your thumbnails together. Okay, so we're going to do another one here. Let me get this loaded up again. So this hashtag right here is, let's see here. Okay, our next hashtag is going to be TubeSpanner 11. And while that's while you guys are putting that hashtag in, just as a reminder, when it comes to TubeSpanner, it is a YouTube tool to help you work a lot easier when it comes to YouTube. So a lot of the other tools on YouTube, they focus on like, search engine optimization and, those sorts of things, testing your thumbnails and all of that. TubeSpanner helps you more with your workflow. So it helps you, interconnect your YouTube, or not your YouTube accounts too, but, all of your social media accounts with the bio tool. It helps you write better scripts with the AI script writing tool, which you can turn the AI on and off. You don't have to use the AI if you don't want to, but with their script writing tool, they make it really easy to just kind of move sections around and things like that. It's really awesome. In addition to that, they have a browser extension. And in the browser extension, if you have other social media accounts like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, you can actually schedule your videos to get promoted to all of those different platforms directly from inside of YouTube. Like you don't have to leave YouTube to do it, which is really awesome. and it also has like an upload assistant. So like, for example, when we do these types of channel reviews, when we do them on my channel or here, you know, one of the things that we talk about is making sure that you're adding the right disclaimers and the right things to your video description so you can, you know, make it easier for people to find more of your content and stuff like that. With the upload assistant, you can just click on buttons and then it just puts that stuff in there for you. So instead of having to go to your channel and find it or open up some notepad somewhere and copy and paste it in, you just click on the buttons and then it just loads the stuff in, and then you can just keep on going, which really speeds up your workflow. But you can try that out again, just so you know, at tubespanner.com. So here we go. We are doing the roll of the dice here. We got Kim Barbu. Sorry about that, Kim. Okay. I said Kim Baru, but it's Kim Barbu. My apologies. Okay, so let me take this down real quick while I pull up Kim's channel. And if your channel did not get selected yet, just as a heads up, we are going to be doing, you know, more of these. We're going to be pulling up more channels here today. We're just getting started. And in addition to that, how the whole thing works is you just put in a hashtag like you saw everybody do here for this particular one. And then, you know, the system's going to randomly select somebody, and then we pull up the, then we're going to pull up the channel. So let's see here. So somebody asked about TubeSpanner being free or paid. They have both options. So they have some free stuff, and then they have some paid stuff too. So it just depends on exactly what it is that you need and how much of stuff that you need and stuff like that. But they definitely have some, you know, forever free features as well. Let's see here. So Kim Barbu says, I thought I'd get the last one because it had Kim in the keyword. that would have been a great coincidence, I think. Okay, so here's Kim's channel. Let's see what Kim does. So psychic, witch, and certified crazy lady. So I like that you have the value proposition on there. One thing just to think about is you might want to put, I mean, this isn't a huge thing. This isn't going to like move the needle for you, but this is just a quick, like, how can you make it more clear faster for people? Like if this is mine, I would think about like, okay, how can I like not focus on me and focus more on the value proposition of what it is that they're going to get, right? Because here, this is still focused on you compared to them. So you have psychic, witch, and certified crazy lazy lady and your channel name. So this is all about you, right? It's not what the viewers are going to get from you. So since your channel name is here twice, and your name is here again as well, and your tagline is also here about the psychic witch and certified crazy lady, then I would actually use this to, you know, same big bold text, just like you have right here, to say exactly what it is that you are providing for your viewers. So, you know, for example, I'm not sure yet from looking at your channel exactly what it is that you're doing in terms of the content that you're putting out. I know what your channel name is, and I know like the, you know, the way that you frame yourself, but I don't know what it is that you're actually offering on the channel yet. So if I was a new viewer and I just watched one of your videos and I come and I land on your channel page, the only context that I have is that one video that I just watched. So because of that, it could be, I'm not sure how long you've been, you know, on YouTube. You got 121 videos. I could have just watched your first video. YouTube could have just recommended me that first video. I come in, watch that video. I'm like, hey, this is great. Let me go see what else they have. I land here, and I don't know if that first video, I don't know topically if it's what it is that you're currently doing or whatever. But when I don't see what it is that you're doing, then I, as a viewer, have to put out energy to try to figure out exactly what it is that you're doing. And I have to put out that energy while YouTube, let me open this up. While YouTube, when I don't close the menu, is sitting over here saying like, hey, go check out some shorts. Hey, look at your subscriptions. Hey, there's some YouTube music. Did you know we had that? Hey, maybe you can go into your library. Hey, Spaceflight Now's live. Hey, Nick just posted something. Hey, Daniel Batal posted something. Andrew Can did. New to YouTuber growth, whatever that one is. Charles Berthoud, like Creaky Blinder, like all these people just posted videos. Like you're competing with distraction, constant distraction. So because of that, you want to make sure that you add, you know, that type of clarity. Keep in mind, you know, again, that's not something that's going to like move the needle, but it's something that just adds that clarity, and that can cause people to just subscribe right away instead of having to go and just like search for what it is that you're doing. So as I scroll down, let's get into what you're actually doing. Pick a card readings. So I guess with this, you're doing tarot card readings. So one thing, keep in mind, is, playlists do show up in different places around YouTube. And in addition to that, YouTube is now showing direct playlist links around video content as well. So for example, if somebody watches, like, let's say this video, in some cases, YouTube will show a playlist link. So because of that, instead of just having pick a card readings, you want to make sure that you're being strategic about how you're writing your titles for your playlists as well. And this goes for everybody here. So when it comes to the way that you're writing your titles for your playlist, you want to think about it like, okay, if YouTube is showing this video to somebody on their mobile feed and the context that they have is the thumbnail and the title, and both of them have grabbed somebody's attention, well, when they show that playlist link as well, how can I use that in a way to let people know what's in here, but in kind of a compelling way, or maybe a little bit more of an informative way, to where maybe they'll click in and watch the entire playlist, right? So then that kind of levels up, how people can actually access your content. Let's see here. Stop. You need to stop doing this. Pick a card. Your immediate future. Pick a card reading. So if these are, and I'm not sure if pick a card is the same as tarot cards or not, but if it is, I would start using the words tarot cards in here, because little details like that, like, okay, first, when it comes to YouTube, like, their system is really smart in terms of you can be relatively vague with your content and YouTube can still show it to the right people, and, it still can understand what the video is about and all that. However, you can also add clarity to help ensure that the right people see the videos. So for example, if these are tarot cards, then in that particular case, you would want to make sure that you are using the words tarot cards somewhere here in your title and in your video descriptions, just for a little bit more context. In fact, I put out a tweet just the other day, and this is from, so everybody here, you should be following me on Twitter just for things like this. But I put out a tweet the other day, and I'm actually going to just pull up on screen once I can find the thing here. So YouTube, when it comes to like your description, this is something that a lot of people don't think about, is it has here, oops, there we go, is it has right here, let me zoom in. It says, and this is directly from YouTube, this is in the Google Help pages, but it says, writing your description. Descriptions tell the YouTube algorithm and your viewers what the video is about. Okay, and this is new. This isn't something from like an old internet archive version of the Creator Academy, nothing like that. This is new, okay? So descriptions tell the YouTube algorithm and your viewers what the video is about. You can think about the description as two parts: what viewers are seeing before the show more on desktop or more on mobile, and what they see after. And this is really important for everybody here, consider using the first few lines of your description to describe your video, because it's what viewers are going to see first, okay? And then another thing when it comes to, describing your video, be sure that each video has a unique description. This makes it easier to find through search and helps it stand out from similar videos. Identify 1 to 2 main words that describe your video and feature them prominently in both your description and title. So this part right here is what I'm talking to you about, Kim Barbu. In terms, you say I've got it in the description and tags, but not in the title usually. Yeah, so you want to also make sure that you're putting that in the title as well, as long as you can get it, to fit in there. But if you're going to write pick a card, fitting, tarot card in there is definitely, is definitely going to be a better move there. So you just want to make sure that you are, thinking about that, because it's something that YouTube recommends. Like, it's not like, hey, Nick is like just telling me to do this. It's like YouTube recommends this. So you want to make sure that you do that. And then the next thing to think about as well is when it comes to your thumbnails, I would experiment. So like right now, what it is that you're doing, like this looks nice, and you also are featuring the cards, so you're doing the right thing there. But one thing that I would do is I would experiment with like, okay, let me try just like a 3-card panel to where it's nothing but the cards themselves. It's just like just like zoomed in, design of the cards. Let me try doing, like 2 cards facing down, 1 card facing up, those types of things. And based around the theme of, these particular videos, and see if you find something there that the viewers, respond to the most. The next thing that I want to talk about is you have here, Wondering Psychic Witch. So you're doing travel vlogs, okay? And then down here, so you have these predictions, witch information, travel vlogs, and then let's see the videos that are bringing in views. You've got Crime Unicorn, Hair on Dark Hair. Okay. So another thing that can be really helpful for you, I think that you're kind of like, I think that you're within bounds here, which is good. because you are saying like, hey, this is, you know, like your witch travel stuff, but that kind of falls apart in situations like this. I mean, I'm not sure how you introduce yourself in your videos, and we don't watch the videos here on the stream because of copyright reasons and stuff. But like, when it comes to things like this, right? This is what you got to think about. And this is like a bigger thing when it comes to growing a YouTube channel is right here. Okay. I'm just going to isolate this video right here because it's a travel vlog. So let's say, fly with me to Europe. This witch hates flying. Okay. So this witch hates flying. This at least helps you get in front of, you know, more of the right crowd, which is okay. You know, because then at least the people that are going to be clicking on that will be like, you know, oh, this person's, they're saying they're a witch or, you know, whatever. And then the problem is situations like this. So let's say that you're relaxing travel vlog in Bulgaria. Let's say that this video takes off. Right? Let's say that this video, over the next 3 months, let's say that this video ends up becoming like a primary traffic driver to your YouTube channel. Since it's a travel vlog, what you have to think about is, okay, with this travel vlog, are the people that are going to end up subscribing to my YouTube channel for this video, are they going to care about this? 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 Right? So the idea when it comes to having a YouTube channel is you got to make sure that you don't have to, but it helps you grow faster when you think about, okay, if somebody were to watch one video on my YouTube channel, why would they watch another video based on their interests, right? And then you want to start saying, okay, well, is there any content that I'm publishing to my YouTube channel that doesn't make sense for viewers to watch alongside other videos on my channel? And the reason that this is so important on YouTube is because let's say me as a new viewer, let's say I've never interacted with your channel before, and let's say YouTube recommends this Bulgaria video to me. Let's say I click on this like I just did, and then I'm right here and I'm watching this video and I'm like, wow, you know, this is great. And because of that, let's say YouTube, let's say you recommend let's say you pin a comment down here and you recommend I go watch, you know, some more of your travel videos, or let's say you have it in your video description, which you currently do not. I don't think. No, you don't. Make sure that you're adding links to your video description as well. But when you are, you should be driving people into more content similar to the content they just watched. So in that case, it would be more travel vlogs. So in that case, let's say that I watch, you know, some travel vlogs back to back. Let's say I just watch 2. Or I just watch that one video all the way. I like it. I comment on it. And let's say I share it out to my social media account or maybe even on my community feed. What's going to happen is YouTube's system is going to identify that I enjoyed your content. And then the system is going to say, okay, so Nick just watched these videos or this video or these, couple of videos. What else on this channel would be a good fit for Nick? Let's start testing some stuff. Then YouTube is going to go into your archive and it's going to find content that other people like me have also enjoyed. And YouTube is going to start recommending me those videos. If they're not in alignment with the things that I care about on your YouTube channel, I'm not going to click on them, which then is going to cause YouTube to stop recommending your content to me. And when that happens, then you're going to end up in a situation where you grow your subscriber count, but they're going to ultimately end up not being people that come in and really enjoy like all the videos that you're publishing. And you're going to end up dividing your audience up into these different, segments of content that you're doing, instead of making it to where somebody can just log into your channel, not log in, but they can go to your YouTube channel and they can just sit back and binge watch all of your stuff, and it's going to add value to them in some way. So the big problem that I see on your channel currently is that you're dividing things up. So it's like you're a travel vlog, but then you're doing this witch stuff. So because of that, I would pick one or the other so that you can serve the people that are into, the psychic and witch, content stuff, or the travel vlogs where you can serve the people that are into that, or spend some time trying to think of, okay, if I'm going to do these travel vlogs, how can I do it in a way to where the witch community would enjoy it, to where maybe, I start the day looking at some cards, tell me how my day is going to go, and then I go out into the world, and then I give kind of report at the end to say this card was right or this one wasn't, or however that works. But like, how can you kind of tie them together in a way to where it makes for good cross-pollination of, the different types of content in your channel that is targeted towards the audience of people that are into, witch-based content. Those are some things that I would definitely start thinking about, because as it stands right now, you could be in a situation where your tarot card stuff takes off. If your tarot card stuff takes off and that does well, then you're going to end up working against yourself on the travel vlogs. If your travel vlogs take off, then you're going to end up working against yourself on the tarot card stuff. So because of that, I would just find a nice bridge between them, so to speak, to ensure that that every viewer that comes into your channel is somebody that can stick around and somebody that can watch, a lot more of your content. So we're going to move on to another channel here. So how this works for those of you that are just joining us is we are basically putting in a hashtag into the chat right here. And when we put this hashtag in, all you have to do is enter the same hashtag, or I'm actually going to pull it up on screen. And with this hashtag, let's see here. With this hashtag, then you just put it into the chat, and then the system that I'm using here from StreamYard, the giveaway tool, it's going to just randomly select somebody out of the chat that has put in this hashtag. So right here, this is TubeSpanner jokes, because she always comes into my normal streams and says jokes in there. So so I just put TubeSpanner jokes on here just because that's part of the thing over here. So just put that in here. And we'll see how you go. And by the way, while these are coming in, just as a quick reminder, for those of you that are just joining us, you are on the TubeSpanner channel right now. This is not my main YouTube channel. And TubeSpanner, make sure you subscribe here because we do these on a somewhat regular basis. But TubeSpanner is a tool for YouTube content creators that helps you do all kinds of different stuff. So for example, let me just kind of move this one back over to here where you guys are putting those. And I'm going to pull up my YouTube account. I'm just going to show you this really quick, because it's pretty awesome. Waiting for a few more. We got 90 entries, so just waiting for a few more here. So yeah, so if I pull this up on my account, right? So TubeSpanner, I can click on it right here, and then you can see they've got these like really cool animated milestones. You can actually share these out into like social media. So when you cross like, cool milestones, then you can, share those out. But in addition to that, this right here is the upload assistant. So I can go here into my preset descriptions and I can say like, okay, it's going to be a live stream for my Nimin Live. I click on this live stream description here, and then bam, you can see how it populates it all. And I just already have that in there. And then from there, let's say it's something that I'm going to be promoting as an affiliate. Then I'm down here and I'm like, okay, well, let me go into my smart links and I'm going to put the affiliate disclaimer here, and then bam, it just drops the affiliate disclaimer. And then from there, let's say I go here and I'm like, hey, let me put some videos that people can watch on the channel. Instead of having to go into my YouTube channel and look and try to find everything, I can just scroll here, right? Go through my entire list of videos and say like, okay, yeah, let's just put this one down there. And then bam, it adds it, and then it's like good to go. So, there's that. There's the AI chat assistant. Let's see here. Give me 3 video ideas about fishing, right? Just like ChatGPT, this actually connects to ChatGPT. But what's going to happen is it's going to give me those 3 video ideas, as you can see right here. And it's literally like your YouTube assistant. It's incredible. In addition to that, if you see the share option right here, I can share directly out to my social media accounts. I can select whatever video it is that I want here, and I can say like, okay, we're going to put this one here, and this shows me the preview. And then of course I'd wrap whatever text around this that I want, and I can schedule it here without ever having to leave YouTube at all, which is pretty incredible. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. But we're at 104, so I'm going to go ahead and draw this right now. And then we are going to pull up this next channel here. So we've got, okay, this is going to be a hard one to put in. Let's see here. Alexi himself, videos about Finland. Okay. Long channel name, my man. But it works. When I started putting it in, YouTube knew. And YouTube actually, auto completed your entire channel name. So that's a win. So okay, so let's look at yours and see what we got. So right here, videos about Finland. I mean, couldn't get any more clear. Finnish culture, lifestyle, and language. I like how you've broken it down to just a quick, easy 3, easy to consume, easy to comprehend. That's fantastic. As we scroll down the page here, actually, let me refresh this because the scroll bar just disappeared. Let's see here. Learn Finnish with me. Oh, okay, so you're selling stuff, I think. Hold on. Is this going to courses? Just kind of getting an idea of what it is that you're doing, willing to speak with zero embarrassment. Fantastic. Okay, so you have something you're trying to bring attention to. That's good. Okay, so first let's do a quick best practice check on the actual channel layout and see what it is that you've got going on here. Welcome to my channel. My name is Alexi. Okay, so the very first thing right out of the gate is you've already got everything up here. So this isn't super critical, but keep in mind this area right here that's coming from your About Me page. It says, welcome to my channel. My name is Alexi and I'm a Finnish guy. And then, it starts going into more detail. So just as a heads up, and a lot of people don't really, think about this, but when you have people that, if you go into your YouTube analytics right now and you go and look at the shares that you're getting, you're going to see that people are sharing your content. So because of that, what you want to do, excuse me, is you want to make sure that the first part of your About Me page jumps right into let's see here. I'm Alexi and I'll be your guide to Finnish culture, lifestyle, and language. And then talk about, how you teach people the language and stuff like that. And the reason you want to do that and you want to make sure that it's up front and that you're removing this part is because if I were to share this out to Twitter right now, actually, you know what? This might actually show up. Give me 1 second. If I share your channel, I'm going to see what TubeSpanner is actually going to display for the plugin here. Hold on. Because I'm not sure exactly how this is, how it's going to look here. Because on Twitter, it's going to be a little bit different because they show a different blurb. Okay, so yeah, TubeSpanner is not going to show the blurb. But if somebody shares your content out to Twitter, if they share it out to Facebook, if they share it out to LinkedIn, what's going to happen is the sharing system on those platforms, they are going to pull information from your About Me page. I know on Facebook, I think it's like 72 characters. On Twitter, I think it's like 100 and something. But basically, you just want to make sure that if somebody shares your content out, it's somebody that is, enjoying what it is that you're making. So they're sharing it, basically trying to recommend you. So because of that, you want to make sure that the first part of your About Me page, at least do it within a safe zone of that first 72 characters. You want to make sure that that has something to do with what it is that you're offering, because if somebody sees that share, then, they'll see the actual, channel, but they'll also see the information there. So since they see that information, you want to make sure that it is informative so that if your target audience happens to see that share, that they're like, oh, I'm actually going to Finland, or hey, I love Finnish culture. I'm trying to learn more about it. So they can identify clearly and quickly that it's about that, so they can come in that way. Next, and as a heads up, and you may or may not know this, so YouTube just announced, and I put this in my news segment that I just did on my channel. So for mobile devices, this is going to start showing up there by the end of the year. This link here, which should help increase sales and things like that, which is going to be pretty cool. But click here to read more and get started. That is fantastic. So when it comes to calls to action like this, and I'm sure you're already experimenting with this, but one thing to think about, hold on, Boss Course teaches you easily, grammar. Yeah, so for this, because you could see how I just kind of went straight down to the link and I was looking for context of the link itself. So here, instead of just, click here to read more and get started, I would do click here to read more about, mix in something up here and get started, or something like that, just to add just a little bit more clarity to that specific link. But super smart what it is that you're doing here. Everybody take note of this, because you can use your subscribe and your trailer for subscribers and for non-subscribers for different purposes. And for non-subscribers and for subscribers, if you are somebody that does have things you're trying to bring attention to, it's a great place to put that information. Most recent Finland content. I love that you're making a customized playlist. It's uncomfortable. One thing I would definitely do, and this is just a nuance thing, but I would experiment here because you can see the US flag. But if you are targeting people that are interested in Finland, putting more emphasis on their flag, even though this is about the foreigners talking about, Finland, having, maybe on this other half, just having it a little bit more prominent. And this might be the Finnish flag right back here, but just making that just a little bit more, easy. So it actually stands out in a similar way that the American flag stands out. Finland, the country of extreme cultural contrast. Finns, also Finns. Yeah, how you're using those word triggers up here, and you're putting the, the flag in there. All that's great. Putting the flag in here to help people identify it. Yeah, nailing it. Love it. Let's see here. You're showing the progression. Yeah, I love that you have the Finnish flag on all the stuff that you're doing, except for this one right here. So definitely good move. Okay, must know Finnish culture. Nailing it. Watch these. Good. Just found the channel. Start here. That's all good as well. Finished language resources for you. Quick best practice. You're missing a description here. Best money saving tips in Finland. Yeah, okay, this is great. So you're doing all the right stuff here in terms of the, in terms of making sure you're getting the right words in there and that you're focusing people's attention on that. So like, for example, anybody interested in Finland, if they get recommended any of your playlists or they see them anywhere on the platform, they're going to have a pretty good idea that has something to do with Finland. So you're nailing that. So let's go into some other things that we don't always look at and look for things that you might be missing. So here 7 days ago for your community posts. So this is really easy to get behind on. I fall behind on community posts all the time as well. So, don't sweat it. But when it comes to community posts, just remember that you do have the option to schedule them. And since you have the option to schedule them, community posts are a great way to just keep engagement going there. And when people are engaging a lot with your community posts, when you make more community posts, then they also get shown to those people that are engaging with them. So because of that, using your community posts on a regular basis and just scheduling them ahead of time so that you can just ensure that they're going out on a regular basis is definitely something to do. You're even mixing these up well in terms of mixing in some, questions and some photos and some polls and linking to videos and all that. Yeah, you're doing this the right way as well. Just make sure that you're just doing it a little bit more frequently instead of what it is that you are currently doing. We know you've got a lot of playlists. This part isn't, that big of a deal. Sega Big Day Finland. Yeah, these are just streams of you like walking around, I think. So those are fine. You are taking advantage of shorts, which is a win. And these are all focused on Finland as well, I think. Yep. Finland. Yeah, man, you're crushing. You're doing great here. Okay. So, sex is a hobby. Oh, interesting. Click that. Watch that one later. So let's see here. As we scroll down, let's see what else we got. Grab my, okay, so really quick, this is okay, but just make sure, and I'm not sure if you were here for the thing that I mentioned about, where YouTube, they recommend that you, are using keywords to help people, identify your videos and all that. So when you are filling out your descriptions, just make sure that you are filling out, a little bit of a description, because YouTube recommends that you add like a paragraph in there. At least a paragraph or two is the language that they use. So because of that, when you are filling out your descriptions, just add a little bit more there. This not a huge deal, but just make sure that you are, adding more there, because that gives you more opportunities to add, more things that people might be looking for about Finland. But you want to make sure that you are adding those types of things in natural language, so that they're, they make sense for humans to read them. But that gives you the option to, add additional like keywords, keyword phrases, things like that, for ways that people are finding this, so that, let's see here, where do they say it here? So that, since the descriptions tell the YouTube algorithm and your viewers what the video is about, so that it just helps people, and the system have that additional context. Affiliate links marked with this may earn a commission if you decide the service no extra cost to you. I like how you're doing that. That's pretty clever, actually. I might actually borrow this idea from you. I really love that. That's a great way for people to identify that. My courses, you say you're prioritizing that, which is great for your resources. Fantastic. All of this finished language stuff. Okay, so the only thing that, oh no, you're also linking to YouTube videos. Yeah, man, you're crushing. You're doing it all. You're linking to this. So one thing, all right, I gotcha. No, I'm just kidding. So one thing to think about as well. One, you do not need to put your descriptions here in your pinned comment. This might run into some problems for you, because this is already in your video description. If you're putting this also on the same page, you might run into some issues here with YouTube detecting this as spam. So I would be super careful about doing this sort of thing. I would actually recommend against doing this sort of thing, because if YouTube detects that duplication, then it could, cause some issues for you, because this is all happening on the same page. So I'd be really, really careful about that. Also, when it comes to video performance, I am clearly aware that you are trying to bring attention to, very specific things in your channel, because you're doing this for, income or to, grow your brand or whatever. So because of that, just something else to consider is that since your video descriptions do have all this information in here already, instead of having an off-site link here, because when somebody clicks on these links and it drives them off platform, yes, you get the benefit of them signing up for your thing or whatever. But when you're driving every single video, you're driving a lot of people that are hitting your comment section off of platform, then you're actually killing sessions. So when it comes to YouTube, you have watch time, which is like a per video, and then you have session time, which is how much somebody's spending on the platform. If your videos are the ones that are constantly sending people off platform, then you're going to end up taking a long-term hit on that. Like, you'll still be fine long-term, but you're just gotta, like, it'll just be a little bit harder for you because the system can't depend on somebody coming into your channel and then just watching videos back to back because you're sending a lot of people off, right? So because of that, I would just kind of balance this a little bit. You might be doing this already, but when it comes to your pinned comments, I would think about it in context to the video. So if you have a video that's in like a series and you're like, hey, I'm trying to, make this to teach people about these introductory phrases that they need to know when they're going to Finland, then in that case, putting those into a playlist and then linking to that playlist from your pinned comment to try to get more people going into there will actually bring you a better long-term benefit. So if you're talking about like, hey, where do you learn Finnish lessons? And that's the video, that's maybe the one where you, we call those money videos. And the idea there is it's like, okay, this is a money video. So everything about this is made to drive people off platform. So therefore, I'm going to take some of the high performing content and I'm going to point it in the direction of this video. And maybe I'm going to prioritize this on my channel page, my actual, like your main channel homepage. I'm going to prioritize, that money video somewhere there, those types of things. And the reason that you are wanting to do this is because if YouTube detects that people are like, they show your video to somebody on a homepage or next to another video on YouTube and suggested, they click on it, they end up coming into your video, and then they watch one video and then they watch another video, then you're increasing the likelihood of YouTube recommending your content to that person again. If they watch another video, then there's a really high likelihood that they're going to get more of your content and they're going to start getting some of your archive content recommended to them as well. And the system will say, hey, this video right here, it's dependable in terms of when we show this to people, we can estimate a nice amount of watch time on this in terms of session time. So when people go in, they enjoy this video, they watch multiple videos back to back, like this video typically drives a lot of total watch time, not just on the one video itself, but it leads people into other content, on your channel. So those types of things can help YouTube show your videos to more people. So the idea when you're putting out your videos that you want to start thinking about, and I know you're trying to grow your email list, but what you want to think about is putting together a content strategy that's going to balance what it is that you're trying to do with what it is that YouTube wants for their system in terms of, satisfying viewers and all of that. So the way that you do this is you say, okay, over the next 90 days, these are the videos I'm going to be putting out. And then you can draw this out. And I know this sounds crazy. I actually made a tool for this. It's like an iPad planner thing. But basically what you do is you just like write down, you can just do this in any calendar. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you can just write them down. And then you can say, okay, this video is going to link to this video. This video is going to link to this video. This is a little series I'm working on. So these are all going to go, and link into each other here, and start mapping out where it is that people are going to go, but make sure you identify your money videos. So then as you're mapping out your content over the next 90 days, you can say, okay, well, in order to fill this email bucket or this monetization bucket, I have these affiliate videos that I'm bringing attention to. I have these videos for my course that I need to bring attention to, and these videos that I'm using to get people into my email address. So these are my money videos. So then I need to make sure that all these videos that I'm putting together, that are going to keep people engaged on YouTube, I need to make sure that those are interlinking with each other in a way that makes sense, for the people interacting with your content. But then I need to also have some of those bleeding out into, some of these money videos as well. So you're leaning on those videos for that higher performance because they just keep stacking up watch time. And then as people are getting through those videos and they're getting recommended other content and things like that, then how this ends up working out is not only are you sending direct traffic, but the way that YouTube works is if the system detects that people watch video A and then they watch video B and then video C and then video D, then those videos actually start getting recommended next to each other. So another big win with this, especially in your case, because you're growing the channel, like you're getting like decent views and stuff. So when YouTube starts detecting that people are watching these videos together, then YouTube will start recommending them together as well. So then in that particular case, if somebody watches, a couple of the videos, in your series of videos that are meant to keep people on platform, but then you have your money videos that, a nice amount of people are going and watching as well. After watching these videos, then what can happen is if people are really enjoying these, then the system can actually start recommending your money videos to them as well. So, it's just a really good play in order to, prioritize the things that, you're doing the YouTube channel for in terms of like income awareness and all that stuff. But then also balancing it with keeping people on platform so that the channel itself can thrive and you can get in front of a lot more people to sell your stuff to. So definitely just keep that in mind. Another thing, I saw you have a question right here. You say, great stuff. I actually have a text file where I've mapped out the end screens of each video or where the end screens link to. Yeah, that's great. So what you want to do is you just want to apply that over the course of like a 90-day period, but then work in your money videos. And other things you can do too is like, hey, like these money videos, I'm recommending them in every video description. I'm prioritizing them on my channel page. You can do those sorts of things as well. But the big thing that I'm trying to get at though is just not using every pinned comment to drive people off platform. Instead, use your pinned comments to actually take people deeper into YouTube, and then use some of the other features to drive people to your products and services. And really the best thing you can do in terms of effectiveness is somewhere in your video for the people, like the people that are going to buy your stuff are going to be the people that are the most engaged. So somewhere in your video towards the middle, maybe, 3/4 of the way, have like a little graphic that pops up that says, hey, links down in the description. If you're coming to Finland or interested in Finland, whatever, links down in the description, just a little graphic. Or tell them, hey, by the way, if this is your first time here, I've got links to all kinds of helpful things about Finland down in the description. Make sure you check that out before you go. There's going to be something down there that's going to help you out, right? And then just that quick blurb is going to be more active for driving people down into your video descriptions so that you don't even need to use that pinned comment to send people off platform. Let's see here. 6 reasons why Finnish language is the easiest language. 10 weird but useful Finnish expressions you should know. Good link right there. Yeah, all the way around. Fantastic. Yeah, I love when it's a challenge to find stuff. Like one thing on here's the end screen too, by the way, that I was looking at. So one thing that is also helpful is when you are doing your content, I would also make sure that it does fall into, and I'm sure you already are, but just make sure, it does fall into these things. So like one of the wins for everybody else that's here when it comes to offering just like a core few things on your YouTube channel is you can, one, it makes it really easy for video ideas because you can say like, okay, over the next 90 days, I'm putting out, videos that help here, videos that do this, videos that do this. Let's say you're a gamer. So I have like Let's Plays that I'm doing, I have game guides that I'm doing, and then I have, videos where I'm helping people solve problems in the game. So then in that case, if those are the 3 things that you're doing, then you schedule out all your Let's Plays and you have, when you're doing those. And then for your game guide, you schedule those out, when you're doing those. And then for the ones where you're teaching people stuff about the game, then you schedule those out, when you're doing, those. And with those, you can target YouTube search for those, but then you kind of mix YouTube search with also being compelling so you can like really tap into recommendation traffic as well. But that helps you like solve the problem so people will find you in search. But then if people are enjoying your videos, then people will also get recommended, your videos as well. So, those types of things are really helpful. All right, so next up, we're going to do another one here. And by the way, for anybody that I look at your channel, so, Alexi, for you, and for Kim, and for anybody else that I've looked at your channel, if you have questions about any of the information that I share with you, please just send me a DM on Twitter. That's the easiest way to do it on my end, but send me a DM on Twitter, and I can add any clarity to anything that I mentioned. Just make sure that like somewhere in the top line, you put, you looked at my YouTube channel or you reviewed my YouTube channel so that I can find it. Okay. So next up, we've got TubeSpanner 33 is our hashtag now. So all you got to do here, and this is free, all you got to do is put this into the chat right now. And then I'm going to pull up a channel based on, the thing here. So you just put this hashtag into the chat. And then once this gets up to, a decent amount of people, I'm going to hit draw. And then once I hit this draw option, then yeah, it's going to randomly pick one of you. Then we're going to pull your channel up, see what we got. Okay, waiting for just a few more to come in. Just to make sure everybody has time. Take a quick sip of water here. Okay, and here we go. So the one we are going to look at next is Dougman's Land. All right, Doug, here we go. So give me 1 second. Let me take this down. Love all that confetti flying. It's like, poo. Let's see here. Let's go to YouTube. Hey, Jeff, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing fantastic. Nice to see you in here. Okay, Dougman's Land. All right, so here we go, Dougman's Land. So if we look at Dougman's Land, we got the channel name here, channel name here, channel name here, word games, puzzle games, live streams, and community. So all of this is great. It lets people know kind of what's going on or in terms of what it is that you offer, but it's not super clear. So let's see here really quick. Well, I'm just going to try to figure out what it is that you're doing exactly. Word games. Okay, so you're doing word games. So then in that case, just kind of focusing more on the word games would probably be the thing. But this is okay. It does the trick. You have the things up there that are important. But one thing that I want you to do when you get the chance, and I'm actually going to go and look at it right now, just so we can kind of pull it up. Dougman's Land on a mobile device. When you get the opportunity, Doug, I want you to go to your channel on a mobile device. And what you're going to see is that you are getting cropped here and here. And based on how this is cropped, I'm pretty confident that you're aware of this already. So because of that, one thing to consider is you have puzzle games over here is to move the live streams all the way over to here, or maybe over to this side, not sure. And then move the word games over to here. And then by doing that, it's going to say on a mobile device, when somebody lands on that, it'll have puzzle games on one side and word games over on the other side. And then that way, even on a mobile device, they'll have that clarity. But, on a mobile, like this looks great. I would just change those words because the live stream part, that doesn't add like a lot of like value in terms of like a new viewer that doesn't even know what your content's, they've just watched one video. But if they see like puzzle games and word games, because you've made those prominent with your black and white photos and then the yellow making it stand out, having the puzzle games and then the word games, it's instantly clear. And then it's like, oh, let's see if I can find some word games, or let's see if I can find some puzzle games, right? And it kind of gives them a thing to go after. We love word games and all kinds here. Yep, that's good. That works. Let's see here. So videos, Doug plays today's Wordle. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit challenging just based on the actual topics of what it is that you're doing, but I'm going to go over some best practices with you. So the very first thing is, if I'm watching YouTube in 2 months, even now, if I'm watching YouTube right now, this video is no longer relevant to me. 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 So what you're doing here is you're putting yourself in a situation to where you're going to be solely reliant on new content. At least for this series that you're doing right now, you're going to be solely reliant on new content, and that old content is going to be really difficult to keep alive, because if it shows up in search, if it gets recommended on home pages, that date attached to it is going to be like, oh, okay, that happened like 6 months ago. Who cares, right? And then YouTube will stop recommending it. So since the thing that you're doing, which is playing the word game, that is evergreen. That's going to be valuable content forever, right? As long as this game exists, that's going to be valuable content for people that like to watch these types of videos. So the very first thing that I would start thinking about is removing any of the dates from everything it is that you're doing. Even if it's a series. If it's a series where like, hey, I'm doing daily uploads of me playing this game, do it daily. But just make the series when it first starts, be like, hey, welcome to my welcome to my series where I play, Wordle, every single day. Today, this is what we're doing. And don't say the date, don't say anything like that, so that it's not locking it to that moment in time. And then if you can do that, it's going to make your content evergreen. So it doesn't matter when people see it, it's going to always be accessible for people where they can come in and they can enjoy your content, regardless of when it is that they're actually seeing it. Let's see here. Another thing as well is on the right side, adding this Wordle in here and having this as your, like part of your, branded thumbnail template that you have put together, this is fantastic because then it just helps people, one, you got the human on there to grab the attention, plus you've got 2,000 subscribers on your channel, almost 1,000 videos. So you have, people that have interacted with your content, they know you. So having you on there, great. And then, the focus on Wordle. One thing to keep in mind is that it is, common practice on YouTube for us, and we all do this, not all of us, but a lot of us do it, to, put ourselves in the thumbnails. I would experiment from time to time because I know for me, because I, will A/B test my thumbnails on my own channel, and I'm still looking at your channel. I'm just going full screen to talk about this for a second. So for everybody here that puts yourself in your thumbnails and you have that as part of your template, experiment and make sure you're always testing those thumbnails, because I find from time to time, I'll put out a particular video and just based on the topic or, the people that are interacting with it or whatever, they do not respond well to me, but they respond in terms of the thumbnail, clicking on it, but they respond well to it just focusing on the subject matter or, some type of icon here and here to show before and after or something like that. In some cases, like I'm running a test right now on a tools video. And on that video, the winner in terms of, watch time is the is one to where it just says like YouTube tools for creators or something like that. And it's just a big thing of text. So like in those particular cases, just make sure that you are, testing just so you can make sure that your approach is, as effective as you can get it, because focusing on Wordle might, be the big win, or the way that you're currently doing it, might be the best way, but just make sure you're experimenting. Next, same exact thing with your title, just making sure that you take the dates, off of there for the sake of, just not dating the content. In your case, when you have these, when you have these numbers on yours, I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with Wordle, but by how this looks, it looks like the series is coming together in terms of you doing 681, 682, and so on of these. So I think that's okay in this particular case. But the one breakdown I see here is the Doug Plays Wordle. So when you play, and it's today's Wordle, so, maybe this comes out, I'm not familiar with Wordle, I don't play that game. So like if Wordle just puts out like a thing a day, and that's why you're locking these dates in here, that makes more sense. But if it is something that people can enjoy like forever, then in that case, I would definitely take the dates off. But the Doug Plays Today's Wordle, this matters for people that know who you are. For people that don't know who you are, it's not as important. So I would definitely try to, like, I would sit down with a notepad and I would try to write out just a bunch of different ways that you could just talk about playing Wordle. And I would experiment with doing different, different titles to see if you can get a better response from what it is that you're doing. Like some of these videos, like you're doing okay. Like people are definitely, on board with what it is that you're doing, which is great. So, like a lot of these, you're getting 1,000 views or more on almost all of these, but you might be able to get, even more if you remove some of that limiting, stuff in there. Let's see here as we keep going down. Okay, 1 month ago. So you are doing some different things as well. Chordal, got Wordle again. Yeah, so anytime, because this seems to be working out for you here, like this type of structure. So anytime that you are putting like Wordle in here, using the actual imagery here that people seem to be responding to, I would try to put that in all of your thumbnails where you're doing Wordle for the sake of, just that recognition. Okay, so you're also doing reactions. I'll react to your comments, okay? So one thing that you can do is like this section right here, right? How you're doing this series on reacting to your comments. So inside of YouTube, there's a feature called grouping, and you might be aware of this already, and this might be what you're already doing, but for everybody here, just some information that you need to know is in Doug's case right here, he's doing this series that it looks like he just started 2 months ago on reacting to his viewers' comments. So when you're experimenting with different formats of content or different, series ideas and things like that, YouTube has a setting, or not a setting, but it has a feature called grouping. So you can go into your YouTube analytics, and in Doug's case, he can go in and he can go into his analytics and he can group all of these videos together for Doug Reacts. And then he can group together, let's see here, that's the fans. So, and then he could group together like, fun with word games. And then he can actually compare them against each other with this feature. So with the grouping feature, when you're comparing them with each other, it shows you like, hey, this as a content type typically performs, better in terms of view counts or subscribers, or this one typically generates more watch time or, whatever. But it helps you be able to identify the effectiveness of themes like that. And then as your channel grows, what you do is you keep doing that with all the different ideas that you have. You flesh out, a nice handful of videos on them, see how people respond to them. And then you decide by comparing it to other content, okay, with this series that I'm doing, how does it compare against this series? Okay, so it beats this series right here. So let me compare, other series with this particular one and this one. And then you start keeping the ones that are the highest performers, and then you slowly start letting go of the ones that aren't moving the needle for you. So like in this case, it looks like some of these, hold on. No, that was the other one that I moved down to. Let me scroll up. Yeah, so like on these Doug Reacts, it doesn't look like you're getting a similar response on these compared to some of the other videos that you're doing. That's why I mentioned this. So like when you do notice something like this, and your last one was 3 weeks ago, so you might have killed this series already. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're doing those comparisons on a regular basis so you can step up your your themes, so to speak, and then just prioritize the stuff that's working out for you. So like in this one, you can see like, 300 views, almost 300 views. Here you got one that's 600 views. But compared to, some of this other content that you're putting out, this seems like, at least at the surface, at a quick glance, this seems like a series that you might want to kill. So just keep that in mind as well. Yeah, and I would definitely get like the Wordle. So here, this is another one, and these are 8 months ago, so I'm not going to go too hard on these, but like, these are other ones where you could probably update your thumbnails, and these would probably start doing better. So here, this is another one to where, it's Wordle moments, but you're focusing on, it's a clip show and a Wordle compilation but the smallest thing is that imagery that will help somebody at a glance be able to identify like, hey, this is something about Wordle without them having to actually read anything, right? So I would go through to some of these older thumbnails too and just put more emphasis maybe on that Wordle graphic that you have down there, just for the sake of that, that recognition when people are getting presented the content. In your thumbnails, it looks like have grown by light years compared to what it was that you were doing a year ago. So nice work on that. So really quick, I just want to check. 5 days ago. Okay, that's fine. 11 days ago. Yeah, so one thing to make sure that you're doing as well is I don't see, here's one where you are promoting your live stream. But one thing that I would definitely make sure that you are doing is if you publish one of your videos here, then you have the option, because you're doing daily content here, to where you could say, okay, here's today's Wordle. And then once that video is like done or whatever, then, wait like a nice handful of hours and then maybe promote yesterday's, Wordle or whatever in your community feed, or give this one another jump in your community feed for the sake of it just going out, in front of, more people that might not have actually gotten presented the video, but might get presented the community feed itself. Going shorts too. That's good. Yeah, and I saw already that you're doing live streams. Okay. So really quick, I am going to do one more thing. Go and look and see what it is that you're doing here. So an opportunity that you're missing right now is make sure that you are pinning comments, linking people into your series on this. So make sure all of those videos of your daily updates are in a series for the people that really love them. And then make sure that you are linking to that in your pinned comment. In order to pin a comment, all you do is write the comment out. And then from your view as the creator, when you click on this 3-dot menu over here, you're going to see an option to pin comment. And then anybody going down to your comment section, the first thing they're going to see as they're going down into there is they're going to see that recommendation to go watch more videos in that playlist. And then they're going to see a link to that playlist where they can go over there and actually participate. Also, yeah, you also want to make sure that you are adding, video links, links to relevant playlists. And you'd basically do this based on, the content that somebody's watching. But you think to yourself, okay, if somebody's watching this video, if they go down to my video description, what are other videos on my channel that these people would love? And then you either put those into a playlist and drive people into that playlist by putting it down here in your description, or you start listing out videos based on different things that you're doing. You're doubling up on the Wordle hashtag, not a big tripling up on the Wordle hashtag, or doubling up on the Wordle hashtag, not a huge deal, but just keep that in mind. You just do that once. Then quick hashtag check. So it looks like puzzle isn't a great hashtag for you. Yeah, since these are more like puzzly type games. So instead of using the puzzle hashtag, you might want to find something else there. And for word, yeah, it looks like the word hashtag is driving people into more Microsoft Word related content. So because of that, excuse me, you might want to find another hashtag to use there as well. So a quick tip for everybody here is when you are using hashtags in your videos, just make sure that you just right click them. So like, if you're on a computer, just hover over them, right click them, and just see what's being demonstrated there or what's being shown there. And the reason you want to do this is because you want to look for how your content fits into this. So for example, here you can say if we go word games, we can see that Scrabble, no, scrambled words, hold on, scrambled word games. Yeah, whatever this is, it's just dominating here, whatever the scrambled word game is. And I don't see anything on Wordle here either. So because of that, I would just, research your hashtags a little bit better. Try to find, videos that your hashtags that your video would make more sense for. Because the idea is YouTube, just like they do everywhere else on the platform, when it comes to the hashtag results pages, they are prioritizing the content that people respond to for that hashtag. So because of that, not only is traffic coming into this hashtag from some of these videos that you're showing, but from all of the videos driving to this hashtag, these are the videos that people are responding to right now. So because of that, you want to make sure that your video fits into here in some way that makes sense, and that it's not competing with a bunch of stuff that isn't in alignment with exactly what it is that you are covering. Because ultimately, you don't want to try to fight to get somebody to come into Wordle that's watching these scrambled games. Instead, you want somebody that's watching Wordle content and loves Wordle content to find you in the Wordle area and then come in and watch your content there because they're a perfect fit for what it is that you're doing. All right, so we're going to do another one here. And Doug, also, man, if you have any questions about any of that, feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter, and I'll add any clarity to anything you need there. All right. So if you have been hanging out, if you're just joining us, we are pulling up YouTube channels, and we are looking at them, giving them some tips on some things that they can do to improve. So how this works, it's completely free. Thank you to TubeSpanner, which is the channel that you are watching this on. Just as a heads up, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe here to the TubeSpanner channel. In the future, there's going to be more content, video content published here. And we're doing these streams on a somewhat regular basis now as well. So you can make sure that you are, seeing, coming in and being able to participate and have your channel pulled up and hanging out and, all that good stuff. But in order to participate, for your channel to be pulled up, all you have to do is I'm putting in a hashtag here. And when I put in this hashtag, what's going to happen is I'm going to show it on screen, and then all you have to do is just put the hashtag into chat. You just have it, you just put it in there once. You don't have to put it in there a bunch because it only counts you once. And then when you put in that hashtag, then the system's going to detect it, and then it's going to randomly pick somebody that put in that hashtag. So the hashtag that we're going to be using right now is TubeSpanner1. TubeSpanner and the number 1. So if you want to go ahead and drop that into the chat, and then we're going to, get a few entries going here, and then we're going to pull up the next channel. Oh man, that was such a good comment. Let's see here. So Brian says, are these lessons on how to put out crap that draws people to your channel, but is basically morally and intellectually degenerative in nature? That's just a silly comment. I'm not even sure why you would say that. No, that's definitely not the lessons. The lessons are how to get a better response on YouTube. So you don't have to pull people to your channel, actually. Because if you make content that people enjoy and you learn how to optimize some of the things that we are talking about today, Brian, then in that particular case, then YouTube will actually recommend your content to the people that are the most likely to enjoy your content. So then you don't have to try to, put out crap that draws people to, morally and intellectually degenerative content. Instead, you can make content that is not morally and intellectually degenerative in nature. And if you do that, then YouTube will recommend your content to people that are not into, that type of stuff. So, or that are into that type of stuff. So hopefully that helps add clarity there. So let's see. So we're at 105. So I'm going to draw right now. See how we go here. If you are wanting to get those channels off of your YouTube recommendations, Angie, all you have to do is to the right of the videos on the homepage. If you're looking on a mobile device or in your mobile feed, you can actually select an option for not interested. When you select that option, then YouTube is going to not show you, they'll still show you some of the content, but it's not going to show you as much. So for example, right here in the mobile feed, let me, Johnny Recaps Movies is the channel we're going to pull up here in just a second. But basically, if you look right here in the mobile feed, over on the on this side over here by my thumb, you're going to see a little 3-dot menu. If you click on that menu, then it's going to pull up this panel down here at the bottom. And then you have the option within this panel to click on not interested. And then you have another one that says don't recommend channel. So if you don't want to see any channel on YouTube, whatever it is, then you want to make sure that you have that selected. And keep in mind, there's like, 2 billion users on, YouTube, 2 billion monthly users on YouTube. So because of that, when you have people like, Brian insulting content creators, it's okay. Like he can just not watch these videos and then it's okay because the right people will eventually be recommended this content. So, okay. Johnny Recaps Movies is our next one that we're pulling up. So let me go ahead and get this going here. Looking for your channel right now, Johnny. Okay, got it. Bam. All right, so let's pull up Johnny. Let's just do a quick. Okay. All right. So add to stream. So here is Johnny Recaps Movies. It's pretty clear to me that you're doing movie recaps. At least that's what I think you're doing. So that's pretty clear right now. So that's a win. Some nice fun, imagery right there, kind of, like in your face. I love it. Love that thing. Okay, so if you're a fan of satirical movie reviews, you've come to the right place. Fantastic. So then that way they get the additional, information there. Plus, if somebody shares it out, then they have that as well. But also, I want to congratulate you a little bit early here. You still got, like 31 people to go. But congratulations to you for almost crossing 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. High five and fist bump. So let's hear as we go. So let's see what we got here. Okay, 65 movie recap and review with celebrity interviews. Okay, so this is one of those scenarios to where I would definitely consider doing more of this and less of this. So these are okay, right? When you're adding these emotions and stuff like that and you're adding you here. But one thing that I would definitely do is I would experiment a lot because you are trying to connect with people that are into movies. So because of that, the thing that you should be focusing on more than anything else is like, okay, what imagery am I going to use here that's going to help somebody know that it's about this movie or this particular actor or however it is that you're breaking this stuff down? Because when you are trying to grab somebody's attention from like a homepage or a mobile feed or something like that, you want those types of things to stand out. Because like if you go to like YouTube's homepage, then, what you're going to see is you're going to see just this big sea of videos, right? So like as you're sitting there scrolling, like what you want, and you can see how some of this, it's like really high performing content. It's simple, right? In terms of the thumbnails, but it's focused on stuff, right? This one's about car trends, right? So they focus on the car. This one, these thin cuts, not sure what's going on there. How I tricked millions of people, showing how he faked the cup thing. Here, focusing on, Tom, I guess, not sure. But the idea though, is just focusing on, the things that are going to help viewers identify that the content is about something that, matters to them. So another one here, focusing on the Nerf thing, big focus on the gun. Here, focusing on, Metallica, Master of Puppets, since it looks like that's what they're showing people how to play, or that's what they're playing, not sure. Here, told me I was stupid, heating a pool with computers, and the focus is on the heating the pool, right? You got the pool with the, red lines in there. So, the idea, another one, big focus on the car. But the idea is you want to make sure that you're focusing on the thing that's going to connect with the people that you're trying to reach. And if you're a gamer, this applies to gamers. If you're making crafts, focusing on the craft is what you want to do. It doesn't matter what type of content you're making. You want to use things in your thumbnail that just helps people identify it's about something that, that they care about. That's why on my thumbnails, you see me use the YouTube logo a lot, because that YouTube logo is going to help you as a content creator that's interested in YouTube because you are thinking about YouTube on a regular basis. So when you see that logo show up on a thumbnail on your homepage, it's going to grab your attention because it's something that, you know, is regularly on your mind anyway, since you're a content creator, but you're going to make that connection to that logo because it's about something that you care about because you're a content creator. And that's going to just bring your attention to my content. That's it. Like, you don't have to, you know, like, you don't have to, if you didn't want to, like, you don't have to like click on it or whatever, but it's at least going to make you stop and say like, oh, this has something to do with YouTube, which is the goal. Cause then you'll look at the title, right? I mean, the goal is to get you to click, but that's the idea. So because of that, I would just make sure that you are focusing a lot more on the imagery itself. And here, another thing as well is you want to make sure that since you are doing like movie recaps, is add that type of information to your content. And the reason that you want to do that is because, you know, where you have House of Darkness 2022, sure, there might be people searching for it and things like that, but you have to make sure that you're thinking about the context, right? So if somebody's looking for House of Darkness 2022, really good chance they're either looking to find a bootlegged version on YouTube or looking for a review or maybe a recap or, you know, something like that. So what you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you add some of that information directly to your title so that when people see this show up, not only is it about that, but they know exactly what it is about that as well, right? So this is going to help you in a couple different ways. One, for the people that are interested in watching recaps, it's going to help them understand that it's about recaps. Two, this is going to help you in terms of context for the system. So just like I was showing here before, when it comes to YouTube, they say, let's see here, identify 1 to 2 main words that describe your video and feature them prominently in both your description and title, right? So what you want to think about, because this helps their system understand, you know, what the video is about. And trust me, the system's smart enough to know in terms of like seeing the things that you're showing in the video itself, because the system watches, also reading the rest of the description, you know, it puts the captions together so that it can understand what the video is about and all of that. But when you add the additional clarity, then it just fine tunes it, bam, right? So it's like less kind of like, maybe it's about this stuff and it's more of, it's exactly about this. So then it can show it to the right people. So you want to make sure that you're adding those types of things. So House of Darkness 2022 recap or movie recap, you know, that type of language is what you want to make sure that you're adding to your titles. You're doing it, you know, here, recap and review, movie recap here, but I would definitely make sure that you don't leave any just kind of raw titles like this. And other ways that this can help you is if somebody gets recommended this video and they think it's the movie, they're going to click on it and they're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't the movie. And they're going to click out. And that's going to send a bad signal to YouTube that people that are interacting with this are not enjoying it, right? So when you add that clarity, then you get more of the right people clicking on it and less of the wrong people clicking on it, which will increase the satisfaction of that video, which then will in turn increase the amount of exposure that that video is getting because it's satisfying the viewers on the platform based on what they are expecting when they click on it. So I would definitely do that. Let's see what else you've got going on here. So we talked about your thumbnails, we talked about your titles, uploading on a regular basis, that's good. Everything is about movies, so that's good. Putting out shorts, just a heads up, like shorts, in your case specifically, would probably be a really good move. I'd be working shorts into, like if I was on movie recaps, I'd be doing short content on a regular basis for that. 4 days ago, using the community tab, right? Make sure you're also using this to bring people back into your video content as well, because you're doing it right in terms of sharing, you know, attention grabbing stuff, you know, and things that people can interact with. But this is also a great way to bring people back into your channel and get them, you know, watching more of your videos. So because of that, if you have like, you know, horror movies and you're like, hey, these are my, you know, my favorite horror movie recaps, and then you share that in your community feed, then that's just an easy piece of like fodder, so to speak, to, you know, put it in your community feed to where people that are into your movie recaps and into horror movies, to where they can come in and be like, oh yeah, I didn't even know they did all these other ones. Let me click into that and watch it. Because it's really easy for us as creators to assume that everybody watches all of our videos, but they don't. So when you do those types of things, it just brings some of your content to people's attention that maybe YouTube would not have recommended to them. Okay, using end screens, good. So just a heads up, this doesn't protect you in any way, adding this description down here to your thing. So a lot of people think, because they see other people doing this, that a lot of people think that this like protects you in some way. So just a heads up, like this is just a waste of characters down here. This doesn't protect you or help you in any way, shape, or form when it comes to you avoiding copyright strikes, copyright claims, anything like that. You still have, the same processes that everybody else does if you have that or not. So just keep in mind that you don't even need to add that. It won't help you in any way, shape, or form. If there comes a situation where you have to defend yourself legally, that is not going to be of any assistance whatsoever. You are also missing an opportunity here from your pinned comments. So make sure that you are pinning comments, recommending other videos. And the way that you want to do that is like if this one is about 65, which I haven't seen yet, by the way, I want to go see it. I just haven't yet. But if this one's about 65, then thinking about, okay, for the people that watch 65, what would be another video that those people are likely to watch, or another movie that those people are likely to watch, and then write out a comment here recommending, that particular recap of that particular movie, and put it there so that you can, drive people over to that video as well. Because you want to keep people engaged as long as you possibly can. I would also fill out the description a little bit more as well, because you don't have a lot going on down here. So in terms of opportunities missed right now, in terms of easy views, do you guys want me to make a video for my channel on just an easy way to multiply the views on your YouTube channel? And I can basically just take you through these types of things step by step and show you exactly, like, make sure you're putting links here, make sure you're putting links here. If you want that, just say yes really quick in the chat, just so I can kind of put that on my list if so. So we got a couple yeses there. Okay, cool. So okay, more yeses coming in. Okay, good. So basically one thing you want to do is fill out your description a little bit more. YouTube recommends like a paragraph or two. Two, right now you have this with maybe your auto, subscribe link maybe is what that is. You also want to make sure that you are breaking it down. So one thing that I would recommend to you is say, start breaking movies down by like genre, start making playlists of like, hey, these are horror movies, these are funny movies, these are, whatever type of movies, action movies, these are sci-fi. Start breaking down playlists like that, and then start breaking down playlists of actors. So it's like, hey, here's a, I don't know, Harrison Ford list, here's a Brad Pitt list, here's a whoever else list, and just start, putting together all these different playlists to where you're categorizing your content up for the sake of when you do this one, and I can't remember the guy's name, shame on me, right? Because he played Kylo Ren, but it's like 10 p.m. here, and I've been live streaming for like 2 hours now, including my news segment, so my brain's starting to fall apart. But what you can do in this case is you can say, okay, in my description of my pinned comment, then I can say, hey, here's a recap that I have of all of this person's movies. And then that way his fans can go into, that particular playlist and see all of your recaps. Or if this particular video is like, sci-fi or something like that, then you can say, hey, here's Adam Driver. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Then what you can do is you can say, like, hey, here is, all of the, like sci-fi movie recaps, and then drive people into that. So the idea is just using those categorical playlists as a way to just drive people into either the actor or the type of movie that you're doing. So yeah, hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, just shoot them my way on Twitter, and I will get them answered for you. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for hanging out here. We've been going for almost 2 hours, so that's like an hour and 45 minutes. It's 45 minutes longer than I had anticipated, as it always happens. Like once we start going, I just don't want to stop, but I have to. So thank you everybody for hanging out. Just a reminder, we are going to be doing these, again, on a regular basis here. So just make sure you subscribe to the TubeSpanner channel by hitting the subscribe button down below if you have not yet. And if you didn't get your channel picked this time, again, just remember, like the advice that I'm giving to everybody that we pulled up today, a lot of it applies to everybody that's here. So because of that, just make sure that you are thinking about some of the things that we talked about today when you're putting your content together, so that, you can kind of raise the bar on what it is that you're doing. And besides that, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time.